We are ready whenever you are, Coach.
Okay. All right. Had a couple injuries. Willie Gay has an ankle sprain. The tough one was DeAndre Baker. His left femur was broken, so he's going to go through, and the docs will do a great job putting it back together there on that. My heart goes out to the kid. He's been busting his tail and really done a nice job for us. He'll be able to come back from this, so that's a positive as we go forward. And then Fenton, really both ankles were getting a little bit there towards the end. But I thought he did a nice job battling through on that. Had a couple of real nice returns and some good pass coverage breaking. So, anyways, listen, I'm proud of the guys. I mean, this was a lot like a fourth preseason game where we asked these guys to play offense, defense, and special teams. And, there weren't a lot of backups that I was going to play. So we really had to push through it, and in most cases, all worked out well. We were able to get a good look at some of the young guys. Some of the old guys were able to knock some of the rust off that they might have. So, and all of them had a great attitude with it. We came up short. I mean, we kind of had to go in there for a little bit early, and after the punt, the muff punt, we had a problem there. After that short field, and they did a nice job. Listen, my hat goes off to the Chargers. I mean, they could easily come in here and not want to play. I mean, and it's a tribute to their head football coach and their organization and all those coaches and players for playing. And, I got a ton of respect for Anthony and the job that he does. He's got that thing going here now. They've won the last 4 games, and we're way to go into the offseason. And it's a real tribute to him and his coaches and players. Anyway, for that time, George.
Well, first, Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Andy. Given the nature of, like you saying, this a fourth preseason game, just how difficult is it to see the progress that DeAndre had made with the roster with you guys over the last month or so, and to see the injury that occurred to him?
Yeah,
did you have any words for him before he was carted off?
Yeah, I just told him to kind of hang in there, man. I mean, he was hurting, so it's obviously he was not doing a whole lot of talking to him right there. But I'm just proud of the way he's handled himself since he's been here. He's been through a tough road here, and comes in and really has done a nice job of just concentrate on playing. And went on, he was playing good football. Kind of a freak thing that happened. And, I know he'll rebound from it, but for right now, our hearts go out to him.
Let's go next to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach. Good evening. You had mentioned you told Chad Henne to enter this game and play it like a 20-year-old. Did he meet your expectations, and how do you think he did today?
Listen, I thought Chad did a real nice job. I thought he maneuvered around in the throw game well. The run game, he was accurate with the RPO part of it. He had good combinations with the termite, man. He was battling 34 and did a nice job. So I was proud of proud of him for how he worked. D-Rob's another one. I thought D-Rob really showed what he can do when he's in there starting in the position. He's a heck of a football player.
Next to Sam Mellinger. Good, Sam.
Hey, Andy. I just wanted to ask you, how much work, maybe the answer is 0, but how much work have you guys been able to do on potential opponents in 2 weeks? And what's your message to guys as they get what I assume would be a few days, a little bit resting?
Yeah, they just take care of themselves. I mean, take advantage of the time and rest, and then we'll get back to it here. So, and then their minds won't go far from it. That's just how this group's wired. So, I'm not too worried about that. And then stay safe. That's the other part. So, with the COVID part of it. Tell me your first part. What was the other part of that you had?
Can you hear me? Yeah, it was just how much work you've been able to do on potential opponents.
Yeah, so it's hard to narrow it down with the game still going on. I mean, it's crazy with all the parity. But a couple of the teams we already know. we dug in on some of the other ones that we don't know just to get a foundation. And some of my coaches behind the scenes, Joe Blaymeyer does a great job with all that. So, and he digs in, and we call it, and then likewise on the defensive side, the guys, they have a combination of guys that do it. So, with Terry and Alex Whittingham, so they get in and devour all that stuff too. So you're able to get at least a foundation on the teams, kind of what they're doing, the ones we have to play.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go, Pete.
Hey, Coach, wanted to ask you about two players. First, Darwin Thompson, and then also Byron Pringle. It really felt like Thompson's confidence had been up, and I was just curious for your thoughts on his game. And then with Pringle, can a game like today show maybe you what you need to even potentially use him over the next month in the postseason?
Yeah, I should have mentioned Pringle too. I mean, he's just he's really done a nice job all the way through. He was banged up there for a little bit. Ever since he's been back, he's really given us good snaps, and today was no different. He's so physical when he catches and runs, and he's got a real knack for that. You see it on his return game too. And then Darwin, I'm happy for him because he hasn't had much playing time since early in the season before we got Levy on, and all of a sudden now he gets to go in there. He's so excited to have an opportunity to play. He got to show that he can catch the ball, he can run the ball and block, and all the things that we asked a running back to do. So it was great for him.
Got time for a couple more. We'll go Adam and then Matt McMullen. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Andy, can you give us a sense of what your schedule is this week and how much practice time you figure you'll get in this week?
Yeah, so we'll get a couple days in throughout the week, and we'll get some conditioning stuff worked in there. And I'll sit down and put all that together going forward here.
Go last to Matt McMullen. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Coach. I know you'll need to review the tape here, but one guy who seemed to flash defensively was Tim Ward. Just curious what you thought of his night, just what you could see on the sideline.
Listen, I was real happy for him because his kid was a basketball player and played a ton of football, so gives him an opportunity to get in here, and he showed it on the scout team every day, working our guys hard, and we kind of look forward to seeing what he would do when he had to worry when he wasn't doing it off a card, right? So that's and he got in and did a heck of a job, I thought. I'm curious to see it on tape and see exactly. I didn't watch him every snap, but he showed up, and so I thought that was good.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Be safe.
All right, guys, we've got Chad Henne coming your way next. Hey, Chad, can you hear us okay? All right. We will get started, and we'll start first with Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Chad, just a wide net for you. How did it feel to just be out there again and be the starter for this team?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I was excited to be out there. I think all of our guys were excited, especially moving the ball down there, getting some scores. But, yeah, a lot of fun to be out there with the guys.
Go next to Herbie Tiopi. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Chad, Coach Andy Reid was mentioning Darwin Thompson and Byron Pringle as two players that stood out. From the guy on the field with them, what did you see out of their play today, and how much did they impress you?
I mean, they were both confident out there. I mean, I didn't think the stage was too big for them. They did a great job. They did what they were asked to do, and they made some plays. I mean, Darwin did a great job in the run game. The offensive line blocked well for him, and made some good job in the screen game as well. And then Byron came up with some big plays there. That tip ball, I thought he was going to get in, and then he was dancing around on the one play. It was just fun to see some of these guys go out and make some plays.
Go next to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Chad, the defense made a stop there on that fourth down at the goal line, but unfortunately then it gives you the ball inside your own one and in your own end zone. What did you see on the safety is, kind of how that play unfolded?
Yeah, I mean, that's just a bad decision with me. They were in I thought they were going to be in man coverage. They pressed, and then they brailed, so kind of gave a double move to Marcus out there. And at the same time, once I knew they bailed, kind of just either dirt the ball or just get the ball out. That was just one of those turning points in the game where you wish you had back.
Go next to Matt McMullen. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Chad, can you walk us through your first touchdown pass, the one to Byron, and just how good did that feel to get in the end zone again?
Yeah, I mean, we had a great play on it. It was really just sell the run, and then we had like 2 post routes on the outside. So we were, anticipating a lot of the linebackers to be aggressive in the run game and the safety, and just worked opposite the safety. And Byron made a great catch and play there. So a lot of fun and great to get back in the end zone and to celebrate with the guys.
Go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Chad, if you're needed to play in the playoffs at some point, how valuable was today's experience for you, having not played in a game other than a couple of those late game things earlier in the season? How valuable would today's experience be for you?
Definitely valuable. I think getting out there, getting in the groove, and finishing the game off, and kind of just getting a feel for the game out there again. And with the run game, with some of our RPOs out there, and then obviously in our passing game. So feeling the pocket, getting hit a little bit was good. But overall, I felt comfortable out there. I thought offensive line and all the players, the skill guys, did a great job out there. Just wish we would have came up with a win and finished it off.
Take the last 2, Nick, and then Adam. Go ahead, Nick.
Chad, for you guys, how do you approach staying sharp this week and having part of that layoff before the divisional round?
Well, I think our game plan is to kind of take 3 teams and just study film on them, split it up between the quarterback room, and share our notes with each other and stay into it with film study. And obviously physically, we got to keep throwing, stay physical in the weight room, but as a mindset, try to take some of these games, look at some of the opponents, and kind of get a head start in that case.
Go last to Adam. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Chad, how cool was it to be able to play in front of your family? They kept showing your kids. Just talk about that moment for you to be able to play today in front of your family.
Yeah, I mean, it's a blessing. I mean, obviously early on in my career, I didn't have the kids. I just had my wife, Brittany, and my parents and in-laws, and just the rest of the extended family. But when you have kids, it's definitely a different feeling out there. And I'm blessed that they were out there, got to see Dad play, and hopefully they got excited for some of the plays out there.
Thanks, Chad. We appreciate the time.
Sure. Thank you.
All right, guys, we've got Darwin Thompson coming up next. Hey, Darwin, you ready for us?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll get started. We'll start first with Harold Kuntz. Go ahead, Harold.
Hey, Darwin, hope you're doing well, man. Hey, I know since Le'Veon Bell came to the addition of with the running back rotation, you haven't got much play. Was it, A, one, for you to be out on the field, and then 2, just to kind of take advantage of the opportunity you had tonight?
It's opportunity meeting preparation. Since Le'Veon's been here, I've learned a lot from the guy. With the time that I've been not playing as much, I've been perfecting my craft, catching the ball, working on my pass, bro, just things I need to work on. It was time for me to grow, and then I just needed opportunity, and this was opportunity, and I took advantage of it.
Go next to Matt McMullen. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Darwin, congrats on the big game. You had the big 37-yard screen pass early in the game. Really kind of got you guys going offensively. Can you walk us through that play, and how much did that help you get loose at all in the game? How much did that fire you up for the game?
Really, I've been watching. Like Sharm, they be mad at me because I watch film so much, and I'll watch plays over and over, and I'll just try to think of ways that I can make it right. And so going into this game, screen plays, being more patient on my screens was one of the biggest things. And on that screen play, it was the first one. I'm like, I got to be patient. And once I got the ball in my hands, I knew it was time to go. I just seen a lot of grass. Really, I seen too much grass. And I'm like, I don't know where to run besides this way.
Next to Pete Sweeney. Good, Pete.
Darren, you seem like you've been able to stay positive through this whole situation, and I know it must not have been easy. I'm wondering what type of strategy you kind of had when the Chiefs go and get a running back in the early rounds and then go get a Le'Veon Bell. How were you able to stay positive?
My coach died. My JUCO coach died like 4 months ago, and it's just God's plan. I just got to keep going. I mean, I wish he was here to watch me. No, I don't know. I had to keep going. Some kids is looking up to me. You know, so many people doubted me up until this point. And he pushed me to be great. And I just want the kids back home. Don't never let nobody tell you what you can and can't do. Believe in yourself, man. You know, went the JUCO route. I didn't have it this way, that way, the other. But I never stopped believing in myself. I look myself in the mirror every morning. I got a whiteboard with all my goals, and I read them out to myself. I say, finish 2020 out strong. Coming to 2021 dominant. I recreated my identity. I just know my coach watching over.
Let's go next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Darwin. It's clear that your JUCO coach meant a lot to you. Can you tell me more about that relationship you had with him, and what was his name?
Coach Gerald Paxton House. Man, he pushed me to be great, and I didn't understand it until I wanted to declare for the draft. He thought it was a bad decision, and then we had our conversations much after that, and it was grown man conversations for each other. We helped each other out after that point, and I would talk to his new players or his new group of running backs. He pushed me in a lot of different ways as a man, as a follower of Christ, and just to be a better young man. You know, a lot of kids that go JUCO are either misguided or they didn't have the grades or they just needed that second chance. And I was a leader in my junior college, and he helped push me to be that. I don't talk much, and so in JUCO I learned how to do that and how to lead and coming to the NFL, being around such great leaders. I mean, I watch guys from afar. I mean, the guys that are paid on this team are paid for a reason, and I watch them guys and how they make moves and how they carry themselves. The second stringers were practicing this week, and you watching Tyrann Mathieu practicing his butt off. You know what I'm saying? And you watch Frank Clark, you watch them guys practice their butt off, and they know they're not playing. And so my coach taught me how to practice as well. Practice fast, his game time moves, game time cuts. And I appreciate him for that. He'll forever have a press on me.
We'll go last to Steve Walls. Go ahead, Steve.
Darwin, EB told us earlier this week that he often reminds the team that all of you guys are always interviewing for a job every single day. Was that something that was in your mind coming into today's game to put more positive film on tape?
Coming into today's game, it was just play your game, have fun, man. I ain't had fun with football. I love to ball. I'm not going to lie to people and say that I love everything about the game of football. I love to ball. I love to run the ball. I love to ball. I love to have a good game. I'm going to work because I have to work because I know I need to get better because I'm chasing greatness. I love the ball. Coming in today's game, it was go out there and ball. The rest of the stuff going to take care of itself. I ain't going to worry about all that. That ain't for me to worry about. The business side ain't for me to worry about. I'm worried about doing my job as a football player and doing my job as today was to be the starting running back and take care of my business.
Darwin, we appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys, I think we've got Tim Ward coming up next.
How you doing, Brad?
Hey, Tim, do you hear us okay?
Good.
All right, well, we'll get started. We'll start first with Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Tim, congrats on the game. You come a long way. I know you were first probably on the Chiefs' radar when you came in and you were here for that mini camp during your draft prep and everything. What's it mean to just have the journey that you've had and then get out there and be able to start and play today's game?
Man, it means so much, man. It means a lot. Just having the support of my family and all my coaches and everybody that helped give me this opportunity to just
It means so much.
Matt, I think I have a problem. Go ahead, Matt.
And I'm just curious specifically, on the sack. It's a big moment, getting your first sack in your career. What was kind of going through your mind on that play, and what did you see?
With a call, with the call, I had, outside contained, so I was just going to get off the ball fast as I can. And, I got an overset, so I just came to the lead right there. Wait.
Let's go next to Harold.
Tim, and I know a couple people alluded to this earlier, but with Eric Bieniemy, he always says job interview out there for you guys. For you guys that didn't get a lot of chance to play out there, what was it like to be out there, and how do you feel you guys performed to kind of prove to the coaches that come playoff time, if need be, they can trust you guys?
Obviously we wanted to come out with a W, but I feel like we fought hard, especially a lot of young guys that got to play for the first time, so. That means a lot. We fought. So that means a lot.
Next to Pete Sweeney. Good, Pete.
Tim, I know when you were coming out, you had that knee injury, and I remember Brett Veach speaking really highly about you anyway. Just how important was that long-term vision for someone in your career and giving you the time to recover and then develop for a game like today's?
It means a lot. He obviously saw something that a lot of other teams didn't see. He gave me, I didn't have many opportunities, even as draft day approached, came and went. I didn't have too many teams calling me. He was on me from the jump, so he always believed in me and had faith in me. So shout out to him for sure.
Go next to Nick Jacobs. Go, Nick.
Tim, for you, how do you guys approach this week with having the layoff you're going to? How do you approach and stay sharp and maintain where you're at right now?
Just getting in the film room, watching, our next opponent, taking care of our body and just, staying out there.
Go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Tim, I have two questions for you. Just what does it mean for you to have such a long layoff? And then what did you feel like you got better at to have such a performance today? And then Brad will have a follow-up.
I just using my hands, I still have I got to do a lot of work in that area still, but just using my hands and just, fundamentals that Coach Diddy, taught me from day one.
And secondly, I know you've gotten to know Colin Saunders over the last couple of years. Because of the circumstances today, it looked like he played some linebacker. Just what was it like to see him play that role for the first time, given sort of the circumstances today?
And that dude, the athlete, he can play. I'm sorry, but he can play any position to me, to be honest, man. He can ball.
Let's go last to Matt McMullen. Go, Matt.
Tim, just watching you tonight, one thing that really stood out was your effort on each and every play. Just how much pride do you take in your effort when you're out there?
I take a lot of pride in that, in college, man, my D-line coach, Coach Kamish, that's one of the basic things that he taught, man. Just give effort on every play, man, and it'll turn out good.
Tim, we appreciate you taking the time. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, we got Byron Pringle coming up next.
Mask off.
Okay.
Hey, Byron, can you hear us okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll get started, and we'll start first with Pete Sweeney. Go, Pete.
Hi, Byron. I know that, with your given place sort of in the wide receiver room, the opportunities you get are sometimes limited, but it seems like anytime you get a chance, you're catching your target or whatever, even today when there was the ball deflected, you're able to grab it out of the air. How difficult is it to just stay ready when the opportunities are so limited?
It's not difficult. You're a professional. You come to work every day. You never know when your time to be called, so you got to stay ready, stay mentally ready, and know your assignment when you have given an opportunity to be out there.
Go next to Harold Kuntz. Go ahead, Harold.
Byron, when you're coming back from injury there and then you get back a little bit late in the season, do you feel like you're trying to get to that point now where you can feel you can be at a contributing level, especially now coming into postseason play? And just how cool is it to be out there with that opportunity given and to kind of showcase your talent?
Can you repeat that, sir?
Oh, just being out there to showcase what you could do after coming back from injury, and do you feel like you're getting back to a point where you can contribute in postseason play for the Chiefs?
When I went out, when I was with the training staff, I knew I was in good hands with Julie and Rick and staff. I knew when I got back, I knew I was going to come back and just give it my all from the time that I missed, and just keep working hard. Whenever I get the opportunity, just take it one play at a time, no pressure on myself, and just execute the plan.
I think Harold had a follow-up there. Harold, go ahead.
Oh, just in terms of today's game, how do you feel you went out there and performed today? I mean, you had definitely that nice catch where you kind of avoided 3 tackles, just kind of describe one through that play.
Once we called the play, I knew I had to get the backer, the crossover run. And once he crossed over run, I stopped. And when I seen the ball coming from Chad, I knew I had an opportunity to break away from the defender because he was still off balance. And when I get the ball in my hand and then I'm in open space, I like me versus a lot of dudes, one-on-one tackling. And just run with a lot of anger and aggression because I never know when I'm going to get the ball again. So I just take full advantage of my opportunity.
Go ahead to Herbie T.O.P. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Byron, good to see you, man.
How you doing?
Hey, I'm well, thanks. Inside the 10-yard line, the ball bounces off of Darwin Thompson. It's in the air. What's going through your head as you're seeing that loose ball in the air?
Once I seen it, when I seen it bounce off the defender helmet, I'm like, man, either they're going to pick it or I can go grab it or knock it, make the tackle, deflect the ball so it can be an incomplete pass. But when it came backwards, I'm like, I got a shot to get in the end zone again. And I just took full advantage of that opportunity as well. Just catching it, watching the ball all the way in, and try to get in the end zone.
We've got 2 left. We'll go Matt Derrick and Nick Jacobs. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Byron, you've been around Tyreek now for a few years. I'm just curious, what kind of advice, what have you learned from him as both on and off the field from Ty?
Playing the game with passion, full importance of hard work and that he do in practice, and it translates to the game. It's being able to give every play and win his one-on-one battles 1-0, try to win each play 1-0, and he always tell me to stay focused and because I never know my time be called, my name be called, and when I get the opportunity to take full advantage of it.
We'll go last to Nick Jacobs. Go, Nick.
Brett, I'll follow up for this. Byron, for you, what do you have to do and what does the receiver group have to do to stay sharp during this week off so that you don't miss a beat come divisional round?
Go in and get the treatment if you need it. Take care of your bodies and be prepared to go to work.
And for you, what have you observed from watching the playoffs over the years? How different is the intensity of that week?
It really doesn't change. We just try to fine tune our work and try to find things that we messed up on throughout the year and perfect that and go forward with just being ourselves, not putting too much pressure on ourselves, just taking it one play at a time, one quarter at a time, one day at a time.
Byron, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, guys. That is it for today. We will see you all for Coach's press conference tomorrow. We'll keep you posted on schedule. Thank y'all.